then make it home. They're stopping at sustainable communities where people live together or share resources. They average 30 miles on their bikes a day.
Some days I'm just like, how are we going to make it around the country? But that's when I stop and I think, okay, it's not about thinking how far we've got to go, but just taking one step at a time, and that gets me through the day.
What are we, like 3 days without showering?
Take me to your shower.
It blew my mind to hear from somebody from so long ago that I cared for so much. In fact, I had a picture that she took in Central America on my wall for the past 10 years. So I threw it out there. Why don't you come with me?
When Ryan and I first got back in touch, what happened for me was I started reliving the experience of going to Central America and the freedom and hope-filled possibility that I felt there, that I had somehow just forgotten. We're about to get tattoos of the Within Reach, Bike Sprocket, and Leaf logo.
On our bodies.
On our bodies.
We're dedicated. We're that dedicated.
You think so?
Don't you? It's pretty burly. I don't know. But I like big tattoos.
I really don't care either way.
The greatest fear on the trip was Ryan's giving up.
You're not worried about yourself giving up?
No.
I mean, we can't quit now. We just got the logos tattooed on our letters.
You know, until 150, 200 years ago, everyone was living in smaller communities. Many more of us were farming, producing more of our own stuff. And today, as a result of fossil fuels, most of us live in cities. Very few of us know how to make or repair the tools that we use on a daily basis. That's going to change.
For me, learning to live sustainably has not been something that happened as if a light bulb went on. It's a continuous and gradual process. I'm learning how to do things in ways that make more sense. Part of sustainability is how you feel about social connection. Here I have friends and I just have to get out of my front door and I see them, and there is so much richness of social life interwoven into everyday life.
Hey, we have wallpaper! What? I didn't know we had wallpaper.
It's kind of nice being able to just like go 5 steps and be at your friend's door. And you know, like a lot of my 2 best friends, they live like in the next. One of them lives next door, and the other one lives like 3 doors down. It's like really nice because it's intertwined. There's sidewalks leading everywhere, and then there's all these like little passageways. It's a really cool experience.
Co-housing is a very grassroots movement of people wanting to create a better housing model, a better neighborhood model that works better for raising their children, growing old together. But what really makes it different with an intentional neighborhood like co-housing is that you're sharing common facilities, like a common house. It forces you as a neighborhood to get together and create a community to both manage those facilities and then to figure out how to make the most of it together.
We're a family of 5, 2 adults and 3 young children. We started out here in a house that was more than twice as big as the house we're currently in. And we started realizing, hey, we don't really need this much space because we have a craft room that we can hang out in. We have a kid room. We have all these other areas outside of our house, and we no longer need as big of a house as we thought we did.
Making some permanent labels. All the labels I've made so far, they just get old so quickly in the sun. So I'm going to try this.
Co-housing communities seem to be designed so that there's a maximum opportunity for spontaneous connection.
Sometimes there's a change in the ocean. Oh, sometimes there's a change in the sea. Oh, sometimes there's a change in my road to
I could definitely see raising a family here, but I wondered, is there a way to integrate it all? Living and working, learning, all within the community itself.
We're on an interdependent bike, like our relationship.
Yeah.
So we're just riding along, talking to one another, and that truck pulls over, and I immediately thought, I wonder if he's coming to say hi to us.
It's our friend Jeff Copper.
Who else is riding a double-seater bike around the country?
Here we are in the same place at the same time. Interesting, you know.
Chance and coincidence and everything now.
Well, now try on life. It fits like a glove, and feel what it's like to be free. Try breathing and seeking to be an instrument of love and encourage one another on the journey. Give thanks to the land and the sky up above, and pour your energy into building a community.
There's one community happening, and it's on this planet right now. It's great to have these little places that are holding down, you know, good organic food gardens and techniques for doing that.
Why did you guys dig it in the ground?
We just thought it'd be much warmer there.
Ways to utilize all of our waste.
So would someone like to try this?
Like some place where you can pour your energy in and not expect anything back.
Now make a space for the traveler to stop and put some love and be a shelter from the rushing and the pushing and the shoving. Let the music play all night so we can sing and dance. Grow good organic food and lots of bright flowering plants. Put it in a pot and stir it up with lots of loving. Roll out the dough and fire up the cob oven. Dig into the dirt so we can set the strongest stance. Educate the late that you on life, it's like a glove, and feel what it's like to be free. Try breathing and seeking to be an instrument of love and encourage one another on the journey. Give thanks to the land and the sky
It's amazing.
above, and
People in Texas gotta love it.
building a community.
My thought going into this was, we're gonna be camping a lot. It's winter. It's gonna be really cold, and I had no idea that we were gonna have so many people generously offering us places to stay almost every night along the way.
This is the note we woke up to.
Say happy Thanksgiving, you guys. Yay! We started to think that living in the U.S. wasn't that much different from the life we experienced in Central America.
Yet there were always reminders of our culture's disconnected and unsustainable way of life.
Here we are at the inspection station, Border Patrol. Hello.
U.S. citizens?
Yes, we are.
Y'all have a good day.
All right, thanks. Have a good one, you guys.
Fossil fuel, cheap fossil fuel, let us be the first people in the world who had no real use of our neighbors for anything. We could get everything we need. You know, if you have a credit card, a telephone connection, everything will come straight to your door. We took that as the American dream, turned out it wasn't quite as much fun as we thought. The number of Americans who say they're very satisfied with their lives has declined steadily for the last 50 years. We no longer have as much connection. The average American has half as many close friends as an American 50 years ago. Eats meals with friends or family or neighbors half as often. There's not enough iPods in the world to make up for that.
To some extent, I've been reincarnated. Like the businessman, the guy who existed 10 or 15 years ago is dead. I started manifesting some symptoms in my body, like pain in my back and just a lot of stiffness, and that was another reason why I left computers. And in the time since then, I've been able to listen to my body, and for the first time I realized that it wasn't my plan that was going to get me there, it was actually listening. And I essentially changed my strategy of life to be one of listening, and listening to the spirit, to my emotions, to the people around me, and not being like driving to get to what I thought was going to yield that particular sensation.
How about like a quick go around, people just checking in where they're at?
I'm feeling really good today, and I feel energized. I've been really tired a lot of days. I guess I was sick last week, but I'm feeling great now, and I feel like I'm growing.
The culture in an urban environment is pay attention to the external indicators of whether you're going to get reward or punishment, as opposed to the internal indicators of, am I doing right? Am I doing what's right for me? And for example, how closely do we hold to the clock? And here in the urban context, it's normal to have almost a religion of the clock. Like you have to show up on time or you lose your livelihood.
So something I've been struggling with today as we've been biking is being on time schedule. Mandy often arranges for us to be at our next communities on a certain day at a certain time. And I tend to be from Planet Mellow, and I think the rest of the world tends to be from Planet Urgent. And Mandy, in her ability to keep up with Planet Urgent, has often ambitious plans for us to make it to places, which is great because it keeps up with everybody's time schedules and their needs. But I feel like it's not really keeping up with our needs, which are dealing with so many different factors as a bicyclist on a long distance tour, and it really stresses me out. I'm annoyed.
I'm really nauseous.
Sorry again. Out of nowhere, it just exploded.
Manny's credit. We can buy one on Manny's credit.
Would this maybe have been the, was this the tripod, you think?
So we're down to our last, what, $800 a night?
Yeah.
Basically, to eat, we're going to keep using that. We're not going to have the money to pay our monthly bills.
$39.51. Flax seeds, tea, mangoes.
So I just got fed up and basically quit on the project, and the way I did it was very horrible, and I'm so regretful and ashamed.
I ran out of the restaurant. I thought this is the end of the project, and Ryan said that. I'm done with life.
As I stood up in the Denny's restaurant, I slammed the computer down on the table 3 times, cutting my hand on a piece of glass, and walked out.
I mean, I've seen the worst side of Ryan now. I've seen the true extent of the darkness that hides within him, and I've seen the extent of the darkness within myself.
A willingness to look at oneself. That's really the tendon, the material that keeps people together. Like it's the willingness to endeavor this act of love, which it is, you know, we're all endeavoring